Ah, what's up, everyone? We would like to welcome everybody to the box office graveyard. Fellas, I'm excited about this. This all comes off of the excitement of making me watch Marvels. And so because I had to watch Marvels, I find it only fair that you guys get to watch bad movies. So what do you think about that?
Well, that's cool. So
I'm not excited.
Down?
Like, I don't know how you're excited.
Well,
I'm not excited. At all.
I've already had the damage done. I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
You don't understand. We'll get into it.
We want to give a breakdown of the rules of box office graveyard.
Yeah, go ahead. Have fun.
Okay. The rules is that each one of the members of the crew, the Shadow Crew, has to pick a movie, but not just any movie. It's gotta be, the research has to be done. It has to be the very worst possible film with little to no enjoyment
at all.
That didn't clearly make anyone. It says box office graveyard. It's got to be bottom of the barrel. Didn't make hardly anything, but it's so bad that you never want to actually watch it yourself. But to torture someone else, you most definitely love to give it to them.
And it's so bad that the cover, like of the movie, is also just not good, because they were like, we gave up on the movie. Let's not put any effort into the art. So that
then people might watch it.
Yeah, because that's where this is good. That's where this is going.
It has to be so bad.
Yeah,
that the dollar DVD Walmart bins,
it's not
when they're putting in, they're going, no, this won't sell. as we see,
instead of like
my background is not even. It's revolting.
It's like Finding Nemo and just like a Big Demo.
Yeah. Like yeah. Like Dollar General would deny delivery of these movies. That's where we're at. If you're in California, fucking 99-cent store would not take them either. So
okay,
I do have to say this. I know, Jet, you took one for the team. You were the first. You signed up for watching Marvels.
Yep, that is correct. Don't forget that.
But
it was the Marvels.
I think Robo Vampire is on a whole nother level. I mean, anybody's watching this now, you got to watch the trailer. I was so fucking confused with the trailer.
Oh.
I don't even know
how
you sat
we'll put the trailer in right here.
A futuristic android experiment clashes with a paranormal beast in a spine-tingling tale of terror. A blockbusting experience which will leave you spellbound as the forces of evil rise up for revenge.
Because there's a movie like the Marvels, like, yeah, it may be bad, like the dialogue may be bad, but it's a movie. It's like has continuity, scenes flow from one to the next. That is not the case with Robo Vampire. This is the absence of filmmaking intelligence, or even like they knew what was happening. Like, so let me just start, because I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Because this movie, first of all, I'm watching it, right, and it's like there's parts of this that are actually not bad. They've got stunts, they've got explosions, they have live snake, they have crowd scenes, they've got makeup effects. Okay. This movie cost $2.5 million.
What the? And whoa,
yes, yes.
What the hell? What in the hell? There's no way.
Yes, that is what it says. It cost $2.5 million. And let me also say, it's like, I was going, well, it seems like there's 2 or 3 movies going on here. Well, that's because there was. This movie was made from 2 different movies edited together, one from 1984 and one from 1988.
Well, 4 years in between.
So part of this movie is a Taiwan action movie, and that's the one that has a budget that was made in 1984.
Okay.
They got explosions. It's like a Asian James Bond kind of a thing, but very badly made and written.
This is like a Sanbon fucking crazy thing. Like, well, I have these really bad actors doing this and some Japan actors in costumes. I'll make my Morphin Power Rangers.
Although that would have been better.
Man.
So let me just real quick, let me try and go through this. So the opening is 2 guys have a prisoner and they bring him to a cemetery. Then they're attacked by Chinese hopping vampires, which, if you have not seen a hopping vampire, they literally, their feet are together and they hop like a bunny at like you.
They're in a potato sack race.
Yes. Yes. So that is the villain, is hopping vampires, and they've got cute little hats and robes and everything.
I just want is Danny Boyle listening for your next installment? Instead of running vampires, hopping vampires in your next
Exactly. 28 days later would have been a whole different movie.
No, man.
So that happens, right? There's this big fight scene and these guys get attacked. Has nothing to do with the movie. We don't see any of that again. So why, of course, why would that matter? So then we go to the boss. There's smuggling heroin. And this whole thing was written by people that have only seen Hollywood movies, like not even good ones, like bad Hollywood movies about how drug smuggling works. So there's absolutely no idea. So the boss, right, and he's a white guy. He's like one white guy in this movie, and he's like, well, we're having trouble smuggling these drugs. You know the way we're gonna do it? Vampires. Okay, boss. And everyone goes along with this because it seems like the most rational plan.
I can't tell you how many lyrics Jay-Z said about smuggling drugs and vampires.
Yep.
Just to buy it here.
Only on the second line of this.
Oh my God, what the fuck you watched?
Oh my God.
I love his dedication that he wrote this down, though.
By the way, because it doesn't make any sense.
He took this way more seriously than everyone else.
Who wrote this film is Cocaine Bear.
Now that's the only thing that would make sense.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So, then they introduce Tom. Tom is not a white guy American, but he is the anti-drug agent. That's the company he's with. He's with the Anti-Drug Agency. Because we all know the Anti-Drug Agency. They're up on all their shit. So you'd think this is the main character, right? He's going to be turned into the Robo, they call him Robo Warrior. And he's going to fight the vampires. So we're only told about this guy. We haven't even met him.
Okay.
We're only going to meet him in one scene. And then it's going to cut to him being the Robo Warrior. You know, redone. They don't explain how it happened. They don't explain any of the backstory of it. It's just
how it happened was he was responding to a call, and him and his partner got caught in a crossfire, and then you know, he got completely demolished, and then he had to be.
Wish.
That's not what it is.
So then the bad guys,
literally RoboCop.
Yeah, it's so easy. If they had just followed the RoboCop story, this might have been watchable.
I mean, that's literally RoboCop on your background.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. The character does not look like that. No, he is covered in silver oven mitts. That's the best they could do. So then the bad guys decide to train the vampires to get the anti-drug agent Tom.
Okay.
And so they have to go and make a deal with the vampires. And then this scene, so they go to this cemetery set, and again, doesn't make any sense. The vampire like jumps out of the grave, attacks these guys, but then they're okay with it, and it's not a problem, and they negotiate that he's going to get the anti-drug agent.
Okay, well,
and then a random guy shows up while they're doing this, and then they have a fight. It's not the drug guy.
I have a serious question, and I just had to like fact check myself on this really quick. Which part of the movie, the one that was filmed earlier with the budget and the one without, has RoboCop in it? Because RoboCop came out.
No budget.
Because RoboCop came out in '87, and this
88
came out in '88.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to see what.
No, RoboCop was not influenced by Robo Vampire.
Okay, well,
it was the other way around.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not
because you see, the Robo and the vampires are in the same movie, and then there's this other action movie about the drug dealers that is going on that has nothing to do with anything. But they cut the scenes back and forth like it should make sense in a storytelling way, but it's just two random movies cut with scenes back to back.
So this wasn't written by Carl Masek, who did Robotech, right?
No.
Okay, so that sounds like the same premise of cutting movies and TV shows and splicing it into wood.
This sounds like The Empire Strikes Jedi.
Yes. Correct. You can find it on Pluto TV for free.
So then there's like weird shit where because and first of all, we're maybe 10 minutes in by now. We're up here still. So they hide drugs in a dead cow, and I know it's a real dead cow because this movie doesn't have the budget to make a fake one. So they have poor lady sewing up a carcass of they show a big cow she's sewing drugs inside. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing, because the cows never show up again. And the next scene, they say, "Oh, we're gonna smuggle all the drugs in the coffins of the vampires." So there's no reason to have the cow scene, except that they shot it with that other movie, so let's keep it in.
Well, what you fail to realize is I think that's how they got their budget. I think that actually is how they actually sold up the cow, got the rest of the money for the film.
So now, they're hiding the drugs in the coffins. That's their foolproof plan, right? And this guy is going to train the vampires now, and he's keeping them under his thumb, and so he's got some magic thing, and he's keeping the hopping vampires and teaching them to attack people and other stuff. Now, a lady that's a ghost, maybe, shows up because the head vampire is her boyfriend was turned into one of the vampires, and so she's upset about it. But the guy that's training the vampires says, "Oh, they have a big fight scene," but then he stops her and says, "Oh no, we'll get you married. Ghost can marry the vampire." And so they make it this big thing. It's like some, it hasn't happened in forever. The ghost will marry the vampire. And those people we never see again until the last 5 minutes of the movie. So forget about that plot line as well. Doesn't mean anything. And they spend a lot of time setting it up. So I don't understand what was going on. It's like they just, well, shit, we got to fill up some time. How about a ghost marries a vampire? Oh, okay.
Do you think they had any idea in 2023 that we'd be reviewing this movie?
I guarantee you,
we need to get them on the cast. We need to get the writer on the podcast. That's my goal.
I think we can.
Oh. So after all of that, right? Then is the first scene where we're introduced to Tom, the anti-drug agent. So all of that backstory that actually means nothing because we don't go back to it. Now is the first scene with Tom, and I wrote this line of dialogue down because I had to stop the movie.
Well, I know a couple of times, probably.
I'm worried about these drug smugglers. We should arrest them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens.
Okay. Thank you. And that is the extent of our introduction to the hero.
And the Academy for Best Writer.
Wow. He had literally less lines than Rambo.
So yeah, this is where the movie they start to edit stuff together, because a guy pulls up in a Jeep, other guys shoot, then they run out of the car with their guns. For some reason, they're in a car against a couple guys standing in the road, and they decide the best course of action is to run from the car and then have a shootout. Makes sense. Then the vampires suddenly, and this is the first time we see this, show up like genies out of a bottle. So the trainer guy has this little bottle, and all of a sudden smoke comes out, and the vampires show up, and then they start hopping around and they attacking all these military guys that have the guns.
Fucking potato sack vampires.
I like the extra genie in the bottle. I mean, that's pretty epic.
And it makes no sense. So, and this is during the day as well. So none of the rules of vampires make sense, but maybe that's because they're hopping. I don't know. Vampire shoots sparks from hands, and it kills people. So this is also where they spent about maybe $5-10 of their budget. They got some like sparklers or some Roman candles and just put them in a dude's sleeve, and he shoots it out because that's exactly what it looks like.
Man, gotta love those sparkle vampires.
Yep. So, after all this, right? We've never seen Tom, our anti-drug agent. He wasn't one of the guys in the Jeep or in the road. So that's at this point I'm like, wait a second. There's like 3 or 4 different factions of people fighting, because there's like the government guys, then there's these drug dealers, but then there seems to be another faction of people, and also none of these people have any kind of a uniform. So the drug dealers are dressed casual, as the military guys are dressed casual, as the heroes and the villains, everyone is casual. The only ones you know are the Robo and the vampires.
Well,
everyone else
is
they didn't have budget. Yeah,
shirt
come
and
on,
pants.
Man, at this point, and everything,
$2.5 million budget.
You're mashing up movies here, brother. There's a reason for it.
Bring your own clothes.
So we haven't seen Tom. He was only in the scene that said he wants to arrest the bad guys for selling drugs. Now suddenly we're in a hospital, and a nurse is performing like chest compressions under a sheet, and the doctor looks at her from another room He's like through a glass window looking at this nurse going like this on a dead body in a sheet. And yeah, I wrote this down. They look at each other, shake their heads, and walk out. No dialogue. She's going dum, dum, dum. Without even checking, her and the doctor walk out. So that is Robo, our main character. We don't know how he died. Obviously they
by
spent
streaking over gasoline.
Let's see. So then immediately it goes from this guy dead to suddenly there's a new doctor and they're waking this robot up. Absolutely no building it, no backstory,
No
who's
montage?
the doctors, who's nothing. And then it goes to robot is attacking the guys with the Jeep. And so, which I thought the people in the Jeep were some of the good officer guys. So that's why there's like 3 or 4 different groups with different things, but nobody tells you what they're actually trying to fight for or mean. Doesn't matter anyway.
Well, it's like a murder mystery. You have to guess who the bad guys and the good guys are.
So
Never will.
He walks into the bad guys area, hits 2 guys in the head that are in the military, and then all of a sudden, and it's in the same scene, they act like it was just target practice and that he's not fighting them, even though they show him clunking 2 guys' heads together and them getting knocked out. But apparently it was all fake and just testing of RoboCop.
I mean, Robo Vampire.
Robo Warrior. Sorry. It's so easy to get them confused. They look so similar. Then there's drugs in a cross in a church. So somehow they've gone from the coffin to now they're hiding drugs in the cross in a church. And there's maybe it's another cartel that's after the other cartel, and that's why they're looking for the drugs, because it's not the anti-drug agents that are going after it. Yeah. So then we get this blonde girl. She's with the anti-drug people, and she's kidnapped. And then she stays there for most of the movie, and then there's this other part where there's 3 random Thai guys who you'd never see in anything else because they're in the other movie, and they're like, yes, we've got to rescue Sophie. Okay. We don't know how they know her, and just some guy shows up and it's like, hey, you gotta do this. It's like, okay, I need 3 guys.
So he went to Home Depot?
That's probably would have been a better choice. Oh.
All right, brother.
So,
well, why don't we jump?
You just don't understand. Let me just go real quick. Robo arrests the drug poachers. Trainer goes up to the camouflage soldiers, attacks with the vampire. Robot shows up and shoots the vampires. Didn't know that was thing. Then they die. Okay. They're not very good vampires, I guess. They have Sophie have water torture, the Chinese water torture. And they literally put her in a chair, and there's one leaky pipe that just has one little drop of water on her forehead. And she acts like it is Guantanamo Bay. She's like, ah!
If they really wanted to torture her, they should have made her watch the fucking movie.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
There's an arm wrestling fight where a guy sees a tattoo that is a clue That to the next scene, it means absolutely nothing.
He wins a semi.
He
turned his hat backwards and won a semi.
They take the tattoo guy to a lakeside where a new girl shows up. Don't know who she is. She comes out of nowhere, and she's on the good guy's side and ready to help.
She's in 40s.
Yeah. There's fire on the beach. Vamps do karate versus the RoboCop.
How do they do karate?
Warrior. Hopping vampires doing karate is something you should definitely check out.
They're playing Coachella this year.
They have a rocket launcher, so they're like, there's things in here that cost money that they're actually doing well, and it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Let's see. There's a village, a gang in a village. RoboCop. I can't call him anything but RoboCop. I'm sorry. He gets short-circuited, and it's, oh god, he's down for the count. They take him back to the lab, and then they go, oh, he's better now. It's just like pointless shit.
You can't even make it up.
No,
it's almost like you can't make it up.
They finally get back to the vampire ghost wedding at the very end here.
The vampire ghost wedding.
Let's see. Oh, 3 guys make the entire gang surrender. So there's literally a giant gang in this hideout place, and these 3 guys that came in, they take them over. They have 3 guns. These other guys are fully armed as well, but they all surrender to 3 dudes for no reason.
It's got to win an Oscar, right?
Yep. So let's see. Oh, they run away and they blow up the headquarters. Again, they had a pyrotechnic budget. And
Skynet.
They go back to the bad guy finally, and he says, "I will rebuild my empire." And then RoboCop shows up, and that's when the scene that you've all seen, the final climactic battle of the robot versus the hopping vampires. And how did that work out? Let's see. Oh my god. I forgot this scene. This is a cinema classic, and I'm going to have to rip the movie just to show you this shot. They have a chase scene. RoboCop, who walks slower than the actual RoboCop, so he's just a guy in oven mitts going like this. He's chasing a hopping vampire, and they show it across a bridge, and the camera is at one end of the bridge, and they show it like coming towards you, and it is the slowest chase in film history.
Oh man, this is
so.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Then the ghost that was gonna marry the vampire boyfriend, she gets mad and she has a fight with the trainer, and
what fucking trainer?
The trainer of the vampires from the very beginning that we didn't hear from for half the movie. And then the ghost kills the trainer immediately with no problem. And then RoboCop has a flamethrower, and then he walks away, and that's the end of the movie.
Oh, thank God.
So, like, that's the only reason I wrote it down, was because I knew that there's no way that I could explain any of that without just doing a scene-by-scene breakdown. That's the whole movie. If it made sense to you, more power to you. I didn't get a fucking thing out of it. Made no sense.
It sounds like they should have called it Heroin Cow. That would have made more sense than Robo Vampire.
Holy shit, that's a horrible movie. Oh man. All right, so what would you rate it out of 5?
Is there negative numbers?
Sure.
Can I do like -5?
Yeah.
-5.
It is got to be the most incompetent, worst piece of film I have seen. It didn't make, on a basic level, any kind of sense or have a cohesive story.
Well, I'm gonna say cue the editor to rip in the person who's digging the grave right now to bury Robo Vampire.
How fitting
2.5 million.
How some of these scenes took place in a graveyard. How fitting. Fitting. Dr. Brantley, you can't be the only one that takes the punishment. So, in graveyard fashion, we are going to nominate disastrous piece of crap should be left in the graveyard films for everyone else to watch and to review. I don't know if they'll be as bad as what you just described because I still don't understand what you said, but
thanks for watching.
But we'll try. So I think it's fair that we nominate films. Yeah. So
and you should definitely nominate first.
Yes. Well, Chet gave me a.
I sent you that one also really quick. I sent you another one while you were talking. Just you can decide. They're both great picks.
Well, now see, I've seen both of these, and Chris may have seen one of them. But this is one, and tell me if you've seen it. But this is known as possibly the worst film of all time, at least in the last couple of years. Troll 2.
I have not seen Troll 2.
No, well, you're going to see it now.
Shit.
Okay. You're gonna watch Troll 2 now, baby.
Okay.
I don't think you need to catch up on the lore of Troll 1 to enjoy it, though. You might just go into it blind.
Okay. All right. Well, I see Mr. Storm is laughing. I'm happy to nominate a film for his viewing pleasure. And since you're such an action film aficionado and into, Equalizer and things of that nature,
I'm ready for it.
I would nominate the 2006 epic action film starring one Steven Seagal.
Oh, God.
The film is called Attack Force.
Oh my God.
And the plot is when aliens arrive on Earth to harvest human DNA, a special agent is assigned to destroy them without letting the public know they exist. Steven Seagal and aliens.
Yeah, without letting the public know he exists or getting out of his chair. He's gonna do it all from a very comfortable seat.
All I can say is I can pray this is an executive decision and he dies in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, no, sir. He's in the entire film. Sit back, get your popcorn, and enjoy your note-taking on that epic film.
Well, since this is a season of giving that's coming up, and I've been looking forward to this. And let me just pre-warn you. I've watched some crap films in my day, but the beautiful thing about it is I have insomnia. So I'm up numerous nights. And my favorite thing to torture myself and just to bring this up is Tubi. Yes, if you don't have a Tubi account, run out and get one. Because I can tell you, they have 150 Bigfoot movies. They have thousands of alien movies. 100. None of them are good. So one late night I was up, and the title alone and the actual poster said I gotta watch. And it was the worst torture I've ever had. But Mr. Hawkins, I'm gonna give this to you right now, my friend. It's 2015. Now it's a drug film, just like.
Are you giving that to Chris?
No, you got to give it to Chet. Dr. Brantley already gave me.
Oh,
yeah, because he already gave me Troll 2. I'm not watching 2. You guys, I won't make it to the next show.
No, go ahead.
Give it to Mr. Maddox. He needs one.
I totally forgot. I'm sorry, Chet. I hate to do this to you, but actually, no, I don't hate to do it to you.
I know.
It had a budget of
real quick though. I am going to get a break on one because I am one ahead of all of you guys at this point.
That's true.
But that's true. Give it to me. What is it called?
The budget for $1 million. $1 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. It stars one of the greatest action heroes who no one probably saw but in 1 or 2 films, Mr.
Cobra.
Danny Trejo. Yes, he makes tacos.
I love his taco stand.
And shitty movies. And this is Cartel 2045.
That's the movie? Hold on.
It's got
Wait,
robots.
say that again. Say that again.
Cartel 2045.
Oh, this
It has
a good one.
Drug criminals and robots. Oh yes, just like Robo Vampire, but this was far worse.
Well, Dr. Brantley, I know you just sat through one of the worst films of all time, but in fairness, since we're all watching films, we have to queue up another film for your viewing pleasure. You can watch it at your leisure. You're not required to come with notes the second round, but since you've taken one on the chin, I'd figured I'd give you a double feature. This could be just as bad. So the nomination for you, Mr. Brantley, is called Franco Nero in Top Line. 1988 action film. Let me read you the plot.
Great.
No.
That sounds good.
Author Ted Angelo discovers a UFO in the Colombian jungle. When he tries to spread the word, he earns more than a usual disbelief. Suddenly, he's hunted by almost every organization: the CIA, the KGB, the mob, the Nazis, and even extraterrestrials. Those ETs obviously do not want to phone home.
Oh God! Oh God!
Wow.
Enjoy.
I mean,
what is the name of this again?
It is called Franco Nero in Top Line. I think you'll enjoy the poster.
Oh, Jesus.
It's an ode to Indiana Jones, Romancing the Stone. I think it's right down your alley.
Breakfast Club.
It sounds like something you will watch.
Actually, if you want to pull it up, I want to see his face as he pulls up Franco Nero in Top Line.
As the
poster's actually that.
Sure.
It's so good. I think you'll enjoy it.
There's not even a poster for it.
Oh boy.
No, he saw the poster.
Oh yeah.
Ein versunkenes Schiff, ein Sagengoldschach, ein aufgeregtes Raumschiff, die Story seines Lebens. Franco Nero in Top Line. Oh, it's a canon movie.
Oh,
Great.
well, let's tell you like
Thank
this.
you.
They know how to make a shit that costs money and shit that's bad. Canon.
Oh man, here we go.
Well, we have our work cut out for us.
We do.
Thank you, Dr. Brantley and Chet Maddox, for watching The Marvels and Robo Vampire. I do have to say, Robo Vampire is a good poster, though. I would put that on my wall.
I would also
if I'd
rather
watch
watch that than the Marvels. So
if you only would have said that from the beginning, we could have swapped it.
Yeah.
You know?
But hey, I guess, there's always Aquaman too, right? Who's watching that?
Well,
Not
we'll
it.
have to. We'll cut that in the next couple of weeks in the graveyard.
Just as long as Aquaman's wearing oven mitts, I'm good to go. All right. With that being said, thanks for tuning in to a first edition of what the hell are we calling this again?
Box Office Graveyard.
Box Office Graveyard. Jeez. May they rest in peace.
It's the first edition, so
First edition.
First edition.
I hope everyone survives their viewing of some really bad films upcoming.
Hey, you know what? But if someone actually has watched the Robo Vampire or the Marvels and wants to put that down in the comment section of the graveyard, constantly do it. Make sure everybody likes and subscribes to the video. Even if you're worse, if you have anything that's out there that you want to nominate, that just say that, hey, you know, these guys are being easy on themselves. I really got a real bad one. Put that in the comments and let us know, and everything. You might just pop up on Box Office Graveyard.